All right, so we begin again. So where were we? So yeah, we're on chapter 3. Okay. All right, we were playing as black. Okay, so where were we? We were on move 3. Okay, so we were back to the original game. And for this, what did I do for this? Did this, and then I took off the arrows. Oops. So we're at, what, D4? Yeah. Okay. Yep, here we go. I gotta lean forward because I can never always tell if everything's lined up for the screenshot of the board. Okay, that looks good. Okay, it looks sharp. Alright, looks good. Okay, then we do 5, 5, 6. 6. Oh, 6. Let's do that. Okay, whatever. Okay, so now the reader knows where we're starting. Right here. I'm gonna highlight this part because I feel like I might have made a mistake somewhere in here. So when I go back and review, it'll be highlighted so I'll know to review. Or I could just... I'm gonna review the whole book, obviously, but I think... Is that how you spell maneuvering? I don't think that's how you spell it. Okay, that looks right. Yeah, that looks right now. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what were we doing? D4. Okay, yeah, the opponent played D4. Let's turn all this back on. Okay. So I ended up taking, which apparently the second best move, I guess. Depth 46. I believe like the depth is like half moves, so it's not looking 46 moves into the future. I think it's like half of that, like in terms of full moves. I believe that's what depth means. So depth 46 you just divide by 2, and then it's like 23 moves into the future or something like that. Okay, so takes, and then now white has control over the center, which is why it's saying 0.5, but I mean, we're humans, so somebody's gonna mess up sooner or later. And then here I go with the old passive. It's saying I should push and then play here. Yeah, that's not ever something I would have played. I just wouldn't have played it. And then they're saying here, and then they're saying here. And now, like me as a human, I'm like, okay, I just gave up a pawn, but technically the pawns, they're stacked on top of each other. So really, it's just like he's not really a pawn up because in an end game, these kind of act as like one pawn, or they're just isolated targets. So that's why it's saying it's not like significantly better for white. I mean, technically it should be a full pawn up, but the computer's saying no, it's only half a pawn, and that's because they're stacked on top of each other. Now, if it was like this or something, yeah, then he would or like if the pawn was here or here, well, maybe not here, but if it was here or here or something, yeah, it would probably say it's a full pawn up. Or here especially, it would say, yeah, white's a full pawn up. But otherwise, since they're like this, the evaluation is like, nope. So that's why it looks like that. But yeah, I would not have played something like that. It would just feel very weird, at least for me. So I played the passive. Computer is also saying you could have fianchettoed. Well, I don't play like the King's Indian Defense type of openings, so I would have never played that. I used to play the Dutch a long time ago. I tried playing the King's Indian, but I always just ended up getting attacked on the king side, and like every time black would play or white would play h4, and I would just get really nervous and I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't take, obviously, if he eventually played h5, but like once I see like a flank attack, I would just kind of panic, like, oh, what are we doing? I don't know what to do. Like, it would be a whole lot of, and then I would end up playing something like h6, and then it would just be embarrassing. It would just end up a humiliating loss. Or I would play something like this, and then I'd play here, and then I would just feel like not very safe. So that's why I don't fianchetto, because I'm always expecting something crazy like that. And then I play that, and then now we're into something I don't like. So that is why I never play fianchetto. Some people do, but they're probably way better than me, so I don't know. I don't like playing it. Okay, so I played the old passive e6. Yeah, it's saying white's significantly better because he's just dominating. So then we have knight c3. Yeah, which makes sense. I'm playing here. I don't remember why I played that move. I probably played it because, like I said, I'm used to playing Najdorf Sicilian, positions, so I just would naturally play this move. F3. Now we're just developing. I don't think I need to explain any of this in the book. That's another developing move. Bring out the bishop. I'm developing. Now I'm starting to feel a lot more comfortable. I'm starting to feel a lot more comfortable here. No crazy tricks or anything. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I got through the opening. Thank God. That's always how I feel about openings. Yeah. I'm more of a middle game, end game guy. Openings is like, oh God. All right, that makes sense. Looking to attack that file. Looks like a steady move to me. I'm playing here because I'm used to, like I said, the Najdorf Sicilian, and one of the, usually like the knights here, and then you play this at some point. So I did that, just preventing the knight from ever coming, because I'm planning on developing my queen here. Or actually, no, I'm not, because the rook is here, so there's no way I would be moving my queen here. So actually, I would not be playing that. This was just out of a habit move. So he probably played a habit move as well, because why would you play that if my bishop doesn't even have access to this square? Like, I'm not going to play this because I don't want to deal with you kicking my knight to like some awkward So like, why did he play that? He played that out of habit, because there's no logical reason to play that. So just like there's no logical move or reason for me to play this. Habit moves. Habit moves. Yeah. So then I castle. Okay, he's doing another developing move. Maybe playing here would have been better. I don't know what it was. No, oh, I guess I'm wrong. I'm dead wrong. So I guess that's the best the computer thinks too. Okay, so then I play here as well. We're both just mirroring each other at this point for the most part. I'm actually... No, he's ahead, because these are half tempos. Castles. Another habit move. I mean, in the book on my system, the author actually argues against playing moves like that because, well, in this position, obviously there, and then now you've got a nice potential target with the knight coming down and really just beating me up. But he actually said not to play this because it creates a target, and it's actually better to just leave your pawns like this. Like, I have a really horrible habit of playing this because a lot of times I'll be like, well, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna like move my pawn over here, which really actually creates a lot of weaknesses. I mean, even the computer's agreeing. The computer's saying, what are you doing? Like, you're creating a huge weakness. I usually don't know what else to do. This feels a little bit weird because, like, when I look at this, I go, okay, what's the plan after? Like, what do I do after that? Computer's also saying here, but then again in my head, what do I do after that? Like, it's hard for me to find nothing moves. Nothing moves are just really difficult for me. Like, this is like a dead draw pretty much. Okay, you can argue, but it's a dead draw. Like, from both our perspectives, we're not doing anything. We're just gonna play waiting moves all day now. Yeah, well, developing the queen, I guess, for the the old psychopath battering ram. Well, maybe not battering ram, but like definitely that's a big weakness now he's gonna exploit. Okay, so I guess I'll comment on move 12. I'm just going to say the better move would have just been here because the computer's saying, yeah, this is better, but like, for me it's like, well, maybe if I had my bishop here, then playing here would be logical because then I could just fianchetto and then I would, be staring at into a wall, potentially a knight, I don't know. But like, this right here, just like for what to me seems like nothing, is like, why? Because I play here and then what? Like, what's the plan? I don't see the plan. Maybe it's just so for me, like, this is the better move in my opinion. So I'm just gonna write that down because as a human, I don't know what the plan would be after this. I guess we can look at some lines, right? Okay. So here and then okay, like, what is that? I don't know what the logic is. I don't know what the logic was with all that. Like, yeah, those are the best moves, but they're not the best moves for me. So I would definitely play Rook C8. Computer's in. Big waste of time moving that rook. Another out of habit move. Another I don't know what to do move. It's saying here But see, like in my head, I'm like, okay, I play here, and then what? I mean, then I get booted. Yeah, and see, I'm getting kicked to one of these. I mean, it's like, well, you're already like almost two pawns down positionally, which is why it's saying like these are the moves that will like keep you from losing the fastest, I guess. Like if you're already like losing and the computer's giving you moves, it's kind of like telling you how you can like obviously not be worse than you already are. So I don't know, man. Like this just seems like I'm inviting trouble. So that's not the best move for me. It's saying here, yeah, here's a move. But then again, like again for me, like what's the plan? There's and then I'm moving backwards. Like, okay, yeah, what's the point? So yeah, this is obviously not the greatest of moves. It's just another. I mean, technically, you could argue, well, I mean, if you get attacked and you're under attack, you might have a little, you have a square for the king. No, but at that point, I'm already destroyed. I'm already falling apart. It's all tears and agony at that point. So let's continue. This is just I'll kind of write that down to move out of habit, habitual move. I mean, it doesn't do anything. Usually I just put waiting moves, so I'll probably just put that. Yeah, that's a waiting move. Okay, and then another waiting move because that doesn't do anything. Yeah, waiting move. Yeah, my opponent and I, we don't know what we're doing at this point. Yeah, bishop b1. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. More waiting moves. You could actually argue, well, this is actually defending against this attack. We could say that. Is it releasing or relieving? Maybe relieving. Yeah. Alright, now we've got a battering ram here, so he's planning on playing here. Maybe, or here to open it up. Either way. Bad intentions, definitely bad intentions. Okay. I am thoroughly exhausted from thinking this stuff through, so I think I'm done for today.